It's like a good Greek tragedy where you try to escape your fate, but it catches up to you. I didn't know the business model or the demand or how to predict or how to arrange vending or funding or anything to actually run a restaurant. I grew up in New Orleans, and my brother was a chef for Emerald twice, and my cousin owns a bar, and my friends all own restaurants or hotels, and I thought, if I don't get out of New Orleans, I'm gonna be stuck running a restaurant my whole life. Came up here, got a job at Lilly, worked in IT for 7 years. Well, worked in IT for 15 years, worked at Lilly for 7. And then realized I wasn't enjoying it. It's now or never. Make a break from sitting at a desk in a cube all day and do something different. And the only other thing that we do in New Orleans is cook. So I said, honey, let's do it. Let's open a restaurant.
Corporate life is very stressful, very difficult, especially with a company as large as the company he was with. That I think even with our own business and just kind of trying things out and going on faith, it couldn't get more stressful than it already was.
We took this place and built it, gutted it. It was a mess when we took it. I gutted it down to bare concrete. It's almost all concrete anyway. Spent 3 months redoing the place, and then so, well, okay, now let's sell food. So it opened mid-July 2007.
Okay.
That was my first day in business. We had about 10 customers, I think, our first day. It was trial and error. I started with what I know everybody knows about New Orleans: red beans and rice, gumbo, etouffee. In 2007, it was very, very small offerings. I maybe went through 4 to 5 loaves of French bread a day as I introduced po' boys to the east side. A combination of I didn't have a whole lot of traffic yet. I was very new. I didn't have street credibility, and po' boys were an unknown term up here. So over the years, I've grown that to where now 90% of my business is po' boy sandwiches. But the first year of business, I was excited when we exceeded $300 for the entire day. Now that's ridiculous. I mean, I had 3 employees on payroll. Between payroll and product, we were taking a loss every day. I put my own personal money and my wife's personal money into this business almost every day for the first year. Knew that was going to happen, didn't really realize to what extent it was going to happen. Mardi Gras hit 2008, my first Mardi Gras ever. And I was, again, so naive and so green and so without capital. I didn't do a big publicity campaign. I didn't push it. And yet they found me anyway. They caught us off guard, unprepared, and what was at the time, I think maybe 30, 40 customers a day for a 9-hour day, jumped overnight to 100 customers, which maybe isn't a whole lot for a restaurant, but it was for us. By the second Mardi Gras, we had grown to maybe, 400-500% of our business from the previous Mardi Gras. And so we geared up and we prepared for it, and we had some entertainment here for that Mardi Gras. On the Saturday before Mardi Gras, I had tripled my regular level of business, quadrupled on Mardi Gras day itself. And although it did scale back slowly after Mardi Gras, it never dropped back to pre-Mardi Gras levels. So you get to learn the patterns after a while. In January of 2010, the Saints really ramped it up. We have doubled our business in 3 months. And we have not had time to sleep because there's always a promotion, there's always something happening, there's always okay, it's Wednesday, what's happening today? And it's an entirely different game from where we started 3 years ago. Hey guys. Hey, how you doing, man? How are you doing? Good to see you.
That's why I want to make sure we got y'all squared away.
Help you down here? Are we still digging out from the first 3 years where that initial debt of $25,000 has grown substantially? A whole lot of how do we continue to live? It was mostly living, not building the business anymore, but living. How do you live for 3 years with no income? So the debt has grown. So now, if there ever is money at the end of the month, after the expense of fresh product coming from Alabama weekly, and fresh bread coming daily, after the expenses of all that plus payroll, If there is money, it's going to pay the piper from the past 3 years. Can you do this with no knowledge and with just wits and just, again, God's good graces and your own blood, sweat, and tears? Yes, you can. I'm proof of it.